Less than 6 months ago, the Detroit Lions season was coming to a brutal end after blowing a 24-7 halftime lead against the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. It's tough for me to say, but 6 months later, man, and some therapy, we are back to the Detroit Lions NFL season. And we talked about yesterday that the Lions they're going to be up against it, man. They're going to have everybody coming after them. They're not going to be darlings anymore. We are a good football team with the hope of getting better for 2024. And we know that we have rankings. I can't believe we're here, man. Like power rankings and just play breakdown and, game previews. Like we are here, man. And as a matter of fact, 2 weeks from Thursday is the first preseason game for the Detroit Lions. Like just mind blown. I keep saying that this by far has been the quickest offseason in my experience. We're talking about on YouTube and before. But I saw an article from Bleacher Report talking about the training camp power rankings, and where we landed at actually to me is no surprise. Let me show you where the Detroit Lions landed preseason power rankings. They would be ranked number 3 behind the Super Bowl, the back-to-back Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, and the team that beat us, that made it to the Super Bowl, the runner-up San Francisco 49ers. Now, this is a good spot. This is a good spot. I mean, our team has gotten better. We really haven't lost any pieces outside of Josh Reynolds. If you think about it, okay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, how much of an impact was he? Not really an impact. He didn't play that much, right? Everyone else is still there who made an impact. Jerry Jacobs is no longer with the team, but we already know what was said about him, like what he was. So our team, outside of losing Josh Reynolds, and hopefully Donovan Peoples-Jones can step up and take that spot, our team was kind of even going into free agency and the draft, right? So now we're better than we were before. But what did they have to say about the 2024 season? Here's what Hutch had to say, and I like this. He said, I think everyone has to put everything into this upcoming year. And I feel like for the years to come as well, because it's not our last year. It's not our last year we're all playing. Hutchinson said, there's a lot of great players on this team, and I think we could just have repeated success over the next few years, where that is what we are looking for, Aiden Hutchinson, because we have been through it. Lions fans have been through it. We've really never had a sustainable, successful team. We'll be like one-hit wonders. Remember when we had the best record in the NFC North under Stafford and Megatron, and then we battled the Green Bay Packers for winning the division, having like the number 2 seed or something crazy like that, and that loss sent us to a wild card round. They ended up 12-4. We were 11-5. And then after that, we kind of, regressed. That is something we don't want to see for not only 2024, but the years beyond. But why are the Detroit Lions number 3rd on this list? Here's what they had to say. Says, let's look at this as a training camp projection going into the 2024 season and envision how this season can develop, wrote the Kansas City Chiefs. He wrote this, some dude who wrote the article says the Kansas City Chiefs are the top dogs as back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Patrick Mahomes gives them a natural edge over pretty much anyone else. We can agree there. However, L'Jarius Sneed is now gone. Left tackle remains a question mark. Rashid Rice faces potential league suspension. These little cracks can open the door for others to walk through. I like that, and I agree 100%. Everything he said, I echo that sentiment. Patrick Mahomes is special. He is a one of one. So with him, you're going to have the edge over pretty much anyone else. But then you have the other thing. Snead is gone, right? Like you said, the cracks are starting to show in the Kansas City Chiefs. And plus, they're trying to three-peat. It's been known. Unlike the Patriots back in the 2000s, and they didn't broadcast this, but the Kansas City Chiefs are a different team. So they're going to have everyone gunning for them. And don't forget, once you get to the playoffs, you only have to lose once. So that's all they need to do. But what about the Detroit Lions? Now, before we get to the Detroit Lions, the San Francisco 49ers, not sure if they had a ton of change. I don't think they did. But what will happen with Brandon Ayuk? If they lose Brandon Ayuk, they will no longer be the second in power rankings. The Detroit Lions will jump them, no doubt about it. Brandon Ayuk has the ability to change a game, right? And he wants to be paid. 49ers says they're not going to trade him, but we've seen things play out before. They lose Brandon Ayuk, they lose that number 2 in power rankings. But what about the Detroit Lions? He continues, the Lions were 1/2 away from appearing in their first Super Bowl. Please don't remind me. He went on. If not for a couple of Josh Reynolds drops, they should have been. That is unfair, and I am here to defend Josh Reynolds. That is unfair. We're not going to put that all on Josh. We can blame Jahmyr Gibbs. We can blame, in my opinion, everybody. There's enough blame to go. How you just going to single out Josh? Young punk. I would not do that to Josh Reynolds. Detroit is ascending. Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta are entering their second season and should be even more dangerous. More importantly, shout out I'm sorry. Shout out to college dropout. Last season's bottom 6 pass defense has been overhauled with Carlton Davis and Terrion Arnold now at cornerback. It's time. Well, I agree with it being time. I agree with the overhaul, but we're going to make a video coming up about what helps the secondary. I love how these people, and see, all right, it's that time of year, y'all. It's that time of year, man, when it's time to keep it a buck. And I just refuse. I'm not going to blame Josh Reynolds like that. That dude was clutch for us all. He had one bad game, a few drop passes. In the NFL, that does me. But are we not going to forget about Dan Campbell? How about kick a field goal, bro? How about every so often, Dan? It's okay. It's okay, man. Spit the kneecaps out. Just take a field goal. All right. And we got Jake Bates now. Kick a field goal. All right. And in addition to that, we're not going to talk about the pass rush. Ain't nobody going to talk about Marcus Davenport. Ain't nobody going to talk about our lackluster pass rush. I told y'all, man, we have the mystery men. What we have on our defensive line is Captain Planet. I'm sorry, the Planeteers. We've got the Planeteers on our defensive line. You take out Aiden Hutchinson, Aleem McNeil, and DJ Reader. Everyone else is a Planeteer. This right here, come on, man. Come on. Okay, all right. But that aside, it's a new year, people. It's a new year. It's a new day. It's time to get spicy. All right. Now, I disagree with just putting all the blames on Josh Reynolds. And let's talk about the pass rush. However, we have overhauled that secondary. Shout out to my hero. Overhauled that secondary. And it will be different. It will, but we still got to get to the quarterback. They will be much more sticky back there. There's no doubt about it. But 9.4 seconds is unacceptable. All right. So give me your thoughts. The number 3 heading into the training camp. Number 3. I will say this, man. The Detroit Lions this year, you could already see it. I can already see it being on this side of the table, that if they come out of the gate and they don't pick up where they left off, which they should. The Detroit Lions, I can say, have been ascending from their very first game under Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. They have been ascending. It took us 12 weeks to get our first win. But since that moment, we have been on the come up. We had a very rough 2022 to start, but halfway through that season, man, we haven't looked back. And I feel like a lot of people are expecting them to let them down. Like they're ready to be like, see, even though it was a fluke, that's what they're ready to put on the Detroit Lions. They're ready to slap the fluke label on the Detroit Lions. So let me know your thoughts, man. Do you think number 3 is a good spot? Do you think we should be higher? I think it's a good spot. You can't put us over the Kansas City Chiefs, the back-to-back Super Bowl champions. And unfortunately, you can't put us over the team that beat us to go to the Super Bowl. Now, but I do like that we're over the Ravens. And the Ravens kicked our tail, but we're over the Ravens. I would assume that the Baltimore Ravens are the number 4 team, and they're not. They have the Houston Texans as the number 4th team. Baltimore would be number 5. So I like that spot. The Houston Texans, man, look out. Look out for it. I mean, who knows? Who knows what the NFL has in store for us? Maybe a Lions-Brown Super Bowl, maybe a Lions-Texans Super Bowl. We do match up during the season, so we'll see. Maybe that's a Super Bowl preview. That'd be crazy, man. 2 teams that have never been. You know what? Let's go ahead and bold predict this thing. Let's make a bold prediction. Okay, I'm a bold predict this thing. 2 teams that has never been to the Super. That would only mean, because there's 2 AFC teams. No, I'm sorry. The Detroit Lions are the only NFC team. Not only, we talked about that yesterday, not only are they the only OG team, they're the only NFC team that's never been to a Super Bowl. So I'll say the Detroit Lions will squash that this year. They'll make their first Super Bowl. Who will they go up against? Could we have a Browns, Texans, or Jaguars Super Bowl versus Lions? Just putting it out there, man. Bold prediction. Chiefs get upset in the one of the rounds, and a brand new challenger goes to the Super Bowl on both sides of the ball. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget about the links in the description as well. Let me switch this camera here so you guys can check out the green gridiron helmet that is underneath the underneath this here. You can't really see it. It's got the mask. I've never seen one of these with the actual mask on it. So make sure you guys check out the link in the description. And also you can check out the link for the other affiliate links as well. Check out the link for the links. Yeah, you guys are awesome, man. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. A week from today, we'll be coming back from training camp. Crazy.